We get to meet many fascinating authors and come across great books almost on a daily basis here. But unfortunately, we don't have enough time to introduce them all to you. But we try to do our best in that regard. Let's introduce one of them to you today.
Character is the totality of who you are and what you do consistently when no one is observing you. It's not about reputation. I made a distinction between reputation and character. Reputation is what people think about you, but character is really who you are.
Chuma Osuchukwu is currently the principal and chief executive of London School of Counselling and Management. He has been active in teaching undergraduate and postgraduate management and leadership courses in various institutions of higher education in the United Kingdom. The theme and title of Osuchukwu's book, though straightforward, primarily address a fundamental societal issue.
It's about leaders drawing from their experiences, drawing from the experiences of the people who had been there before them. There is something that I have found quite intriguing over time. When new ministers or government officials are appointed in Nigeria, for example, and I listen to their maiden speeches, there are things I hear. I mean, there are key words that come out of it, and those key words that come out of it are basically this. You hear three key words. One is sustainable foundation, and the other is leadership. If you go through a number of the maiden speeches that have been done in the last 10 years, you will see these things reoccurring. I would lay a sustainable foundation for this ministry, or for this government body, or for the nation. And it got me thinking, do we ever, as a country, go beyond the foundation level? Do we build like other nations on what has been there?
Every book produced is inspired by something, someone, or even some people. Osuchukwu's story is not different.
What inspired me basically is, first, the personal questions I had in my mind. During my diplomatic career, I met what the society would call successful people. And I was privileged to come face to face on a very close contact with them. And I know what people ask others when they meet them. The first question you hear people, the first question they put to successful people is, tell me please, what's the secret of your success? Now, because that question keeps popping up, the answer is very routine. Work hard or work smart. But I know that a lot of people work hard. I knew I was working very hard, but I was not achieving the level of success that I wanted to achieve in comparison with them. So I thought there must be something more than just working hard or working smart.
It was Chinua Achebe who said that the trouble with Nigeria is simply and squarely a failure of leadership. Many people agree. What's Osuchukwu's angle to this, as expressed in The Learning Leader?
Saying, oh, Nigeria has got a leadership problem. Yes, I will agree to an extent, but I will disagree to another extent. The leadership we have, the materials we call leaders, are in abundance in Nigeria. But it's understanding what to do with that that is the issue here. So when people say leadership is the problem of Nigeria, I agree, because people tend to lack vision. They tend to lack strategies on how to achieve this vision. And if you lack vision or the strategy to bring about the realization of that vision, things will go wrong.
Perhaps the very existence of the world is hinged on leadership. Little wonder books on the subject are so important.
I meet a lot of very busy entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals who often wish they could create time to read. But if you knew that many of the world's most successful people with incredibly busy lives tend to spend quality time reading, you might just find the following, courtesy of The Observer and Inc. e-magazine, very interesting.
Many studies and observations of very successful people who are often incredibly busy have proven one thing. Reading is a lifestyle they have developed and is a primary factor for their successes. Warren Buffett is an American business magnate, investor, and philanthropist. He was ranked as the world's wealthiest person in 2008 and the third wealthiest in 2015. When he was once asked about the key to his success, he pointed to a stack of nearby books and said, "Read 500 pages like this every day. That's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. All of you can do it, but I guarantee not many of you will do it." Buffett read between 600 to 1,000 pages per day when he was beginning his investing career, and still devotes about 80% of each day to reading. Bill Gates, who is the richest man in the world with a net worth of $78.3 billion as of August 2016, reads about 50 books per year, which breaks down to one per week. You only need to visit his blog to see his commitment to books and reading. Gates himself has authored 2 books, The Road Ahead, which was published in November 1995, and Business at the Speed of Thought, which was published in 1999, and discusses how business and technology are integrated. Here's a quote from the Microsoft founder's blog that provides an insight into how he was inspired to develop a reading culture early in life. "When I first met Mrs. Caffer, she was the elegant and engaging school librarian at Seattle's View Ridge Elementary, and I was a timid 4th grader. I was desperately trying to go unnoticed because I had some big deficits, like atrocious handwriting, and experts now call it dysgraphia, and a comically messy desk, and I was trying to hide the fact that I liked to read, something that was cool for girls but not for boys. Mrs. Caffer took me under her wing and helped make it okay for me to be a messy, nerdy boy who was reading lots of books. She pulled me out of my shell by sharing her love for books. She started by asking questions like, "What do you like to read? And what are you interested in?" Then she found me a lot of books, ones that were more complex and challenging than the Tom Swift junior science fiction books I was reading at the time. For example, she gave me great biographies she had read. Once I had read them, she would make the time to discuss them with me. "Did you like it?" She would ask. "Why? What did you learn?" She genuinely listened to what I had to say. Through those book conversations in the library and in the classroom, we became good friends. Another busy global leader who reads a lot is Elon Musk, who is the founder, CEO, and CTO of SpaceX, co-founder of SolarCity, and a man with a net worth of $12.7 billion. When asked how he learned to build rockets, he said, "I read books."
Including resources for education, health, and jobs.
Now imagine how busy the co-founder and chairman of the world's most famous social media network tool, Facebook, can be. That's Mark Zuckerberg. He is said to be worth about $53.7 billion as at August 2016, making him the 5th richest person in the world. In 2005, Mark Zuckerberg resolved to read a book every 2 weeks. And according to Inc., Dan Gilbert, self-made billionaire and owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, reads 1 to 2 hours a day. Billionaire talk show icon Oprah Winfrey credits books with much of her success. She said, "Books were my path to personal freedom." You will find Oprah's book club very interesting. According to an HBR article, Nike founder Phil Knight so reveres his library that in it you have to take off your shoes and bow. One thing seems clear: leaders are readers. Or is it readers who tend to be leaders?